everybody. Hello. A very good afternoon to everybody present here. I am Bhavana Bisht, your educator for today. That's me live and that's my photo below. And just above my photo, you will see a link to the Telegram channel. You can join if you wish to. And also you can type Unacademy _Bhavana Bisht and you will be taken to the channel. Okay. Now today what we're going to be doing is transportation. We're going to be talking about transportation in human beings as well as plants, and this subtopic is from your chapter Life Processes. Okay, 10th out there. Hi Ayushman Yadav, this is for 10th standard. When I look down, it means I'm just looking at the live chat section. Okay, let's begin, shall we? So let's put our thinking caps on and let's crack it. Okay, now when I talk about transportation, okay, yes, do you think, are you somebody who is interested in traveling a lot? Yeah. So where would you like to travel? You'll be like, ma'am, obviously I would like to travel the whole world, right? Yes, exactly. But if you're traveling the whole world and if you I'm like, oh, you're going to travel the whole world. Can you bring some memoirs from every place that you visit? Can you bring something for me? And you'll be like, obviously I can, because I visit everywhere in the world, right? Yes. So you will be the right person to tell, to communicate through all the countries. Absolutely right. So in our body, who is the traveler? Who is that component that travels in every place in the body? And that is none other than blood, right? So blood in our body is an amazing connective fluid. Yes. So we all know that it is fluid in nature. It is made up of plasma, which constitutes up to 55%. Yes, plasma is made up of water, ions, proteins, nutrients, waste, and gases. Now, plasma is my fluid matrix in which the platelets, the white blood cells, and the RBCs have mixed, and all these components together give me the blood. Yes. So what? Hi, Umesh Kumar Mahajan. Hello. Now, what do we do? How does it go? Where does it go? How does it function? So now just follow the line I'm drawing. It's very easy. Don't ever get confused when you look at this diagram of heart and you're like, oh my god, it is so complicated. It is so complicated. Trust me, it is not. Okay. Now, the deoxygenated blood of your body enters the heart through superior and inferior vena cava. Okay. So, what is your superior vena cava? It is the vein which brings the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of your body to your soldiers. And below the soldiers, whatever is remaining is brought into by the inferior vena cava. Yes. And both the vena cavas open up into the right atrium. So, can I just say that on the right hand side, all the deoxygenated part is deposited inside the heart? Absolutely correct. It is brought in by superior and inferior vena cava. Yes. From the right atrium, it opens up. The right atrium opens up into the right ventricle. So the blood enters the right ventricle. Now, can the deoxygenated blood can again be transferred throughout the whole body? No. Right? I transfer oxygenated blood. So now it has to go for oxygenation, right? So now from the right ventricle, the blood enters the pulmonary artery. Can you see the pulmonary artery? Yes. And from the pulmonary artery, these deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs. For oxygenation, for oxygenation. Yes. Now from the oxygen, how come it comes here? Then how it enters the heart again? So now who comes? Who plays the important part over here? So now the pulmonary vein is the one which brings the oxygenated blood into the left atrium. From the left atrium, it goes into the left ventricle, and the left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood into the aorta. Yes, and from the aorta, it is passed on to all parts of the body through arteries. Yes. Now, the only catch you have to remember is that throughout the body's oxygenated blood is transmitted through arteries, okay? But only one artery transfers deoxygenated blood, and that is pulmonary artery. There is only one vein inside the whole body which transports oxygenated blood, and that is pulmonary vein. Do not ever forget this. Do not ever get confused in this. Okay, so this is the simple mechanics of how and where my blood flows inside the heart. Okay, now you have to remember that obviously I am going from right atrium to right ventricle, right? Now whenever you're filling water, okay, let's assume you're filling water, yes, so into a balloon, so it is relaxed, right? Yes, but if you want to remove that water, you will contract the balloon, right? And automatically, all the water will come out. Yes. So similarly, pay attention now. Pay attention, okay? When the deoxygenated blood from the right atrium has to go into the right ventricle, okay? The right ventricle is nicely relaxed, getting in all the blood. But now it has to contract. It has to pump the blood for oxygenated. Yes, and it has to go through pulmonary artery, so it will contract, okay? And while it is contracting, there are chances that the blood can retrace its path, okay? It can go back to the right atrium, and to prevent that from happening, I don't want any backflow, so you will see that the right ventricle has walls present over here. Yes, similar thing happened with the left ventricle. We don't want it to backflow into the left atrium, so we have walls over here to prevent the backflow of blood. Clear? Is it clear, everybody? Okay, amazing. So this is how it happens. Can you see? Can you see how the blue color over here, this is the right part of your heart, so you can see what is happening. This blue blood is going through the artery, pulmonary artery, into the lungs. Yes, coming back into the heart through the vein, pulmonary vein, and then it is going via the aorta to all parts of the body. Can you see? Can you trace those steps? Yes. Yeah. This is exactly how it happens. Moving on to transportation, okay? Now we all know that we require oxygenated blood. Yes, that oxygen needs to go to all cells of the body, so cellular respiration can take place. Yes, but ma'am, there are other organisms also, right? Like I have a 4-chambered heart, okay? So I can make sure that my oxygenated and deoxygenated blood do not get mixed together, right? But why? Why? There are fishes out there who have the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood mixed. Yeah, so they are living. Why cannot we? Because birds and mammals they have high energy requirements by the body itself. So they cannot waste excess of energy on even filtering out, okay, the mixed oxygen and deoxygenated blood. And that is why for our efficiency, we have the transportation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood different. Clear? Now we know that the blood is pumped through the left ventricle to all parts of the body. Yes, and that is done by the arteries. Yes. Now you have to transfer to all the parts of the body, rather it be head or your legs, whether it be opposite gravity or with gravity, right? So the blood has a lot of pressure because it has to reach each and every cell of the body. Yes, and that is why the arteries are thick. Can you see? Can you see the thickness of the arteries? The arteries are very thick because they have to withstand the pressure that the left ventricle builds upon them. Yes, and also because they have to transport the blood throughout the body. So arteries carry blood away from the heart, but that is not the case with the veins. Okay, because veins are comparatively thinner, as you can see over here. Yes, they are thinner in comparison to the arteries. Why? Because they don't have to carry the blood throughout the body. No, right? They just have to transport the deoxygenated blood from the body into the heart. Okay, so they don't have thick blood vessels. My veins which carry the blood back to the heart are not thick, but they have valves. They have presence of lot of valves. Why? Because it is taking the blood back to the heart. So to prevent any kind of backflow, we have lot of valves present in the veins. Okay. Now, ma'am, if the arteries are so thick, how are my cells getting the blood, right? Because we know cells, unicellular, like each cell, every cell, they are so small. So how arteries which are so big and thick be able to give them blood? So that is done by capillaries. So arteries divide into smaller and thinner portions of themselves called as arterioles, and these arterioles divide to form capillaries. Okay, and these capillaries transport the oxygenated blood to all the cells present out there. Okay, and therefore these capillaries are just one cell thick. They are not they are multicellular, but they are layers. They are not stratified, nothing. They is just made up of one cell thick, so they can approach the cells. Okay, so now if you can see the GIF, the arteries are redividing into arterioles. Okay, and you can see the arterioles are dividing further into capillaries. Okay, now as they give the oxygenated blood to the cell is like, oh, if you're here only, then take my deoxygenated waste also now. Yeah, you know that it has to get filtered, it has to go. Yeah, so our capillary is like, okay, fine, give it to me. Yes, so when it does that, now this blue over here represents the deoxygenated blood. Yes, the same capillary is now containing deoxygenated blood, and then many capillaries come together, and then they form a venule. Many venules come together and form a vein, and this vein goes towards the heart. Okay, and again this whole process is repeated. So this is how transportation happens. Hi Manav, hello, welcome to the session. But ma'am, you know, whatever I do with my house, but my leakage problem is not going only. I don't know, I have used so many waterproof cement, but still the same condition. I understand. How? Because in our body also, the capillaries have little leakages out of them to the pores that are present on the walls of capillaries, and what comes out is some plasma, some WBCs and proteins. Okay, no erythrocytes come out, and hence the color of the lymph is colorless. Okay, it is a little yellowish, but it is not red. Why? Because erythrocytes are not leaked out, only some plasma, yes, some proteins and WBCs are leaked out of the blood. Okay, now then where will they go? So they go in the spaces which are present between the cell. Yeah, they go in the intercellular spaces. Yeah, now can I let anything accumulate inside my body? Ever? Never ever. Yes, so that is why now this has to be taken back to the blood so that it can mix with them, right? Because it is a component of blood itself. So that is why in our body, this leakage that has happened from the capillaries is called as a lymph. Okay, and the lymph network in our body, so that it can again mix with the blood in the heart, is called as the lymphatic system. Okay, so this is all about lymph. So that is the transportation in human beings. So if you have any doubts in transportation of human beings, you are free to let me know. Any doubts, you can tell me. Okay. Now we are moving on to transportation in plants. Like what to do Because I know that roots take water, water reaches leaf, yes. But there is much more to it in plants. What is there? So we all know that water travels in the plants from the roots to the shoots, right? But who is helping it? Is it just going? Or how can it oppose gravity? Yes. Where does it get this amazing strength from? So let's find out the transportation in plants. Okay. Thank you so much, Manav. Thank you so much. So transportation in plants happen from the root hair cell, then it comes into the cortex, and then it is transferred to the xylem vessel, right? From the xylem vessel is something which transports the water up in a straight conducting manner, yes, till it reaches the leaves. Okay, so can I say that the roots actively take up water? Yes. And how does it do so? Because there is a difference in the concentration, right? There is difference in the concentration, so they move ahead and by the process of osmosis. Clear? Because they want to attain an equilibrium. Okay, but ma'am, cool, but this root pressure is only enough for small shrubs, like, but what about tall trees? Well, you don't need to worry about them. Why? Because there we have something called as transpirational pull. Okay, so what is transpirational pull? So basically what happens, we all know that on leaves there are pore-like structures which are called as stomata, which are evaporating, through which the water is getting evaporated, right? Now if you're feeling thirsty, what are you going to do? And you're studying, you're like, Mama, I need some water, right? You will call your mom and you'll be like, water, Mama, water, please give me some water. Yes, you'll be demanding. You'll be like, give me water. Similarly, my leaves are also like, give me water, please, I'm thirsty. So they are such a manner, they produce something, a suction, they produce a pull. And this pull that is created by the leaves in response to the transpiration that is happening is called as transpirational pull. Okay, so therefore in bigger plants this transpirational pull helps in transporting the water from the roots to the shoots to the leaves. Clear? Yes. And also when the water is getting evaporated, so there are all water vapor outside the tree. As a result, the temperature around the tree is also less. So this water evaporation that is taking place through transpiration also helps in regulation of temperature. Okay. Now if you want definition of transpiration, is right here. The loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is called as transpiration. Okay. Clear, everybody? Moving on, but ma'am, who helps them? Who helps them to achieve this? So that is done by the complex tissues present in the plants. The very first complex tissue that we have is xylem, which helps in the conduction of water. Yes. So xylem, we have 4 types. What are the 4 types of xylem that we have? We have xylem vessels, we have xylem tracheids, we have xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Right? You have already studied this in 9th standard. So what is the function of xylem parenchyma? Its function is just to store food. But what is the function of the vessels and tracheids? Both are tubular in structure. So they act like pipes to transport water throughout the plant. Yes. Whereas these fibers over here help in giving support, help in giving mechanical support to the xylems. Understood? And xylem helps in transport of water and minerals from the soil to the plant. Clear? Moving on to another part of transportation in plants, and that is done by phloem. So phloem transports food. Yes, but now food in plants, yes, the food that they create by themselves, that is the glucose that they produce with the help of photosynthesis, right? So the 4 main components of phloem are, so again, it is sieve tube, it is companion cell, it is phloem fibers. We also have phloem fibers, the same things that we had in xylem, but just adding phloem in front of them. And also we have phloem parenchyma. Okay, so the parenchyma has the same function, that is to store the food, But xylem fiber, same function, gives support. But what about companion and sieve cells? So sieve cells, as you can see, have no cytoplasm. So they are meaningly, they cannot function, right? Because they don't have their own nucleus. And for that alone reason, to give it company, to give somebody who can understand sieve tube, we have the companion cell and the big nucleus of the companion cell, which not only regulates the companion cell, but also the sieve tube cell for transportation. Okay, the transportation that is happening with the help of plants does require energy. It requires energy in the form of ATP. So whenever you have anything which requires energy in the form of ATP to transport, yes, as it is asking for, this process is therefore called as translocation. It is not for free. You have to give money, right? So this is translocation in phloem. Okay, now the glucose that is produced cannot be readily distributed throughout the plant in the form of glucose. Why? Because it can be very fast used by the plants. Okay, so that glucose is first converted into sucrose, and sucrose is a transportable form of glucose. Okay, and then it is made sure that it does not break down in the way. Okay, now over here you can see that in xylem, the always the water is flowing from the roots to the shoots, right? So what is the flow? What is the flow of xylem? What is the flow of water? It is unidirectional. It is always in the upward direction. But what about phloem, ma'am? So phloem, you see, the food is made in the leaves, right? And bhook to sabko lagti hai. The roots will also require energy. The stem also, the lenticels also, the branches also, the leaves also, right? And that is why you can see the phloem is coming down, it is glowing up as well. Yes. Why? Because it is bidirectional. It is bidirectional. Clear? Do we understand everything till here? Okay, so this is it for transportation. So today we have a Menti quiz at 7:05 p.m. on the topic transportation and respiration. Okay, today at 7:05 on the Unacademy live quiz channel. Okay, so I hope you have subscribed to that channel. You will already get the notification, but if you have not, go and subscribe to the channel also, because I am taking a Menti quiz at 7:05 today itself. Okay, on respiration and transportation of the chapter life processes. So do not miss this opportunity out. Okay, and also if you have any doubts in this part of transportation, both in animals and plants, you can ask me right now. Any doubts? I'm waiting for it in the Unacademy live YouTube live chat section. Okay, now you were able to sit through this lecture and I was able to take this lecture all because of the one and only, and that is the Unacademy platform, right? So it's time that we learn about what Unacademy and the plans it has to offer. So on Unacademy, you have plus subscription, you have iconic subscription. But what are the benefits that you get? So you have live classes for all the subjects daily, weekly quizzes, doubt solving live sessions, practice questions, test series, everything at your fingertips. Yes. So for 10th standard, your 12-month code is 15,000 rupees. But if you use the code BBLIVE10, you're going to get a 10% discount. That is 11,500 only you have to pay. Also, we have iconic subscription where you not only have all the features that I mentioned, but also a personal mentor, a live doubt solution session, a parent connect, and a study planner. Everything at your tips. So you don't you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to open your textbook and you're like, "Yaar, how am I going to complete this whole portion?" The study planner will be given to you. You just have to study, right? So the iconic plan is 28,000 for a year. So if you use the code again, that is BBLIVE, you're going to get a 10% discount. That comes up 25,200 only. So very amazing deals going on. Also on the Unacademy app, you have to log in. If you have to access to any free live course, you have to book a class, CBSE class 10th. You have to use a code. You can use the code BBLI10 to what? To book the class. Yes. So book the class. You can book only one class. You can watch only one session. You can watch that same session's recording as many times as you want to, and then you can decide whether you want to join Plus or not. Yes. Also tomorrow at 11 a.m., that is 31st of January, we have Unacademy Combat. Yes, India's biggest and most challenging concept, where the top 50 learners will get a chance to win CBSE class 11th free subscription, free plus subscription. So I hope you have enrolled. If you have not, kindly go into the description box below. There is a link to register yourself, to enroll yourself on Academy Combat. To enroll also, you have to use a code. You can use the same code, that is BBLIVE10, to enroll yourself to Unacademy Combat. Okay, it's going to happen tomorrow, 31st of January, 11 a.m. Do not miss it out, please. Also, if you come on Plus or Iconic, you also have these amazing features where your English, Hindi, mathematics, science, social science subjects are all sorted for your practice, along with live quizzes. And the best part is, none of your doubts are going to be silly anymore. They are not going to be answered anymore, because we have Ask a Doubt feature. You can click on it. Just click the photo of your doubt, crop the doubt and put it, and you are going to get an instant video solution of that question. Okay. Also, you can download any session that you wish to, like, you're traveling, you don't have good internet connections, so you can always download your sessions and keep, so you can watch them on the go. Also, you can enroll to your courses, so you can build your own schedule. Okay. So do not forget to subscribe using the code BBLIVE10. And I know final examinations are up and we need that amazing boost of confidence, and we can be the best out there. So for that, we have daily T20 test examinations. So, you get your practice, as it is the confidence that you need to crack it. Yes. And if you don't understand anything, if you don't understand, अगर आपको English समझ में नहीं आती, तो आप हिंदी में sessions attend कीजिए. And if you're not comfortable with Hindi, if you only understand English, watch your sessions in English. Because there's no language barrier of English and Hindi on an academy. Both the languages are available to you. Okay. Yes, so this is a slide which gives you all the information about the ongoing and the upcoming batches. So make sure to be a part of it. Okay. Now the homework for you is revise what we have learned today. Now why? First, because you should revise it right now, because we have a mentee quiz. Okay. We do have a mentee quiz today at 7:05 p.m. Okay, so do not miss it out, and for that you have to revise. So all the best, everybody. I hope to see you at 7:05 p.m. on the Unacademy Live Quiz channel. Till then, bye-bye, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Yes. And I hope this session was informational to you, helpful to you. And see you at 7:05. Do not forget to share this video with your friends, and also the news about the mentee quiz today. Yes. So read, revise, stay at home, stay safe. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.